What does it look like when the puppies get there? Couple puppies? Oh! You guys are excited? Yeah? Give me a kiss.
Let's start by going over your basics. So, you're gonna plan for what you're gonna be dressing for in your day. Now, if it hasn't rained before, but it's still nice out like it is today, it did rain a little bit, you may want a longer sleeve shirt if you're gonna be walking through cornfields or branches. Reason is those cornfields, the husks, when they're dry, are very serrated and they can start giving you some paper cuts, something to think about. Also, make sure you've got a good pair of waterproof boots. A lot of great companies out there, lots to choose from. Make sure they go up past your ankle in case you have to get into just a little bit of slushy water while you're getting some birds or having the dogs bring them to you. Next thing you're going to want to know is make sure that you're properly executing safety with your handgun. When you're not actually on the hunt, make sure that you're open, safety's on, unloaded. Now, I'm sure you all went through this with your firearm safety classes. Know how to properly hold your gun when you're hunting. Also, before you start your hunt, make sure that you're not pointing your firearm at anybody, any dog or any vehicle. Safety is the #1 reason out here, and if it's not that important, think about the people that aren't there to speak for the others that are there with you on your hunt today. So, next thing that you're going to want to do, notice which way the wind is going. The reason is, if the wind, you want the wind blowing into the nose of the dogs. That way they're going to be able to smell them, mark them, point at them, and wait for you to get to the birds, hopefully, if you have a pointing dog. So, today we actually have the wind coming into us, which is perfect. So, the next thing you're going to want to do is have a plan of attack for the field. Don't just go willy-nilly out there, because everybody's going to have to walk on the line and know what they're doing. We're going to take this field today down, around, and back. You can also do it in a couple trips if you need to stop and grab some water or refreshments, or get the dogs water as well. So, another good reason to understand which way the wind is coming is not only for the nose of the dog, but which way the birds might get up and fly. And that's going to help, especially since we're all walking in the line, and it's going to help you understand your angles of shooting. So, I'm going to get to in a second how to walk in the line properly, but right now, I've only got this area, this angle, to properly shoot. I don't want to impede on my fellow hunters. But if a bird gets up and starts to go over this way, I better make sure I know at all times which way my barrel is pointing in case I have to turn around and fire in the other direction. And this is also important when you're planning your attack, because you're going to want to know where the roads are. Last thing we need anybody doing is shooting guns over roads. So, also understand where the plan of attack, because of where the birds might be running. So, this first part, these birds are not going to be running in here. But if you're on dirt or cornfields, they are going to be running as much as they can possibly. And they usually run away from you towards the end of where that corn goes, or maybe there's some CRP or something that butts up to it, tall grass. So, the birds are running in a cornfield. They're going to bunch up at the end and usually flush all at the same time, which is exciting. So get ready for maybe more than one shot, especially if you're lucky enough to be in South Dakota. Another thing to remember is sometimes these birds, if they don't get hit perfectly, they're going to hit the ground, probably bounce, get up, and start running. So keep that in mind. Try not to let the dogs get too far ahead of you. You don't want them flushing more birds, especially if you're at a game farm. Try to keep them, within a reasonable shooting range as well. But be aware, they might hit the ground running. What you want to keep in mind is elevation change. So, if you have a hunter over here in your line and they're up high, that's going to limit a little bit which way you can go to the right. And if they're down low, it's going to limit how far you can point your gun low as well. And the reason is, pheasants typically just get up and hit the wind, and as soon as they hit the wind, they fly parallel to the ground. They don't tend to get up very high or fly over trees. So keep that in mind as well when you're pointing your firearm.
Good call.
Who was my dad? It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Bird? Now that one might hit the ground running. That's one of those instances I was telling you guys about. However, in this deep sorghum, there's not much that they can do. Who's the stray dog?
What do you think, bud? Get him!
Yeah! Hopefully I got that one on camera. Alright, so I can hear my dad. He's over this way, but I still have hunters grabbing a bird that way. Now, since there's still a little bit of area here to cover, I'm gonna wait because I don't want to impede on anybody's line if a bird gets up and goes with the wind that way. Go. Go. Hey, hey. Oh, that's a pretty picture of Ruby running through that shorter grass. That's pretty.
Come on.
Oh, okay.
Go. Here.
Oh, you guys are up here. Now, when you're pheasant hunting, I'll stop every once in a while, especially when I'm not at a game farm. The reason being, if they're wild and they're not a little, you know, stir crazy still from getting placed out here, those birds will sometimes hunker down. Not so much in corn, but in the grass, much like deer will. And sometimes you have to practically kick them to do something. But if you stop, sometimes it makes them nervous and then they'll flush themselves. Right here. All right, there we go. Got him. Well, Dad, do they usually give you the last bird that you paid for if you didn't shoot it, or?
No. You just don't pay for it.
No, you do pay for it.
Oh,
you
that's right.
They release, we
That's
pay
true.
what
Come
they
here.
release. So we pay for 18.
Okay, no problem.
Whoa!
There.
Woo! There it is.
We got it.
Good job, Chad. Did she get some on it?
Yeah, she did.
Mine drinks like half a gallon.
You want from